The Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is addressed to the Prime Minister. How is it that on his watch, in the middle of the worst recession in almost a century, with 1 million Australians unemployed, businesses collapsing and $1 trillion of Liberal debt, this government is taking no action against the Liberal-appointed Australia Post Board, which spent $12,000 of taxpayers' money on Cartier watches?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Well, thank you, Mr Speaker. The accusation that the Leader of the Opposition just levelled against the government is false. Mr Speaker, earlier today, when this was brought to my attention by the report of Senate estimates, I was appalled. It's disgraceful, and it's not on, Mr Speaker. And so immediately I spoke with the shareholding minister, the Minister for Finance, and the minister responsible, Mr Speaker, the Minister for Communications. And from those discussions, the following actions ensued, and that was that there had to be an independent investigation done by the department, not by Australia Post, that the chief executive should stand aside immediately. Mr Speaker, that chief executive should stand aside immediately, and that, Mr Speaker, the independent investigation should look into the conduct of the board members and their governance, as well as the actions of the management and the executive. That report will come back to me and my members of my cabinet, and if, Mr Speaker, there are issues to be addressed with board members, then they will be addressed then, Mr Speaker. This all happened within an hour, Mr Speaker. So appalled and shocked was I by that behaviour because, Mr Speaker, as any shareholder would in a company raise their outrage if they had seen that conduct by a chief executive, a management or a board, Mr Speaker, they would insist rightly on the same thing. Now, we are the shareholders of Australia Post, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Australian people. So that action was immediate. And if the chief executive wishes to stand aside, well, not wishes to stand aside, she's been instructed to stand aside, and if she doesn't wish to do that, Mr Speaker, she can go.